Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, June 9th, Wednesday, and we are here in the annex with our kittens, and hopefully you are here as well. So I've just finished feeding them and checking their weights twice, as we do, once before and once after. And they're all doing quite well, just about like we would expect. So they're probably all getting ready to settle down for a good nap after they ate so much. Look at that yawn. They have grown quite a bit since just yesterday. They're putting on good weight every single day as long as I help keep feeding them. And I do think that they're getting a certain amount from their mom. It just doesn't seem like they're ever getting enough to, keep their gains up the way that they ought to. So it's good that she spends time with them and they nurse and they have that bond. I think that means a lot to a kitten. But it's also good that I keep tube feeding them every 4 or 5 hours all day long so that they get the weight that they need. So working together, we make a good team. So let's real quick introduce the characters again, our little kittens. This one back here is the only girl in the class. This one is Paisley, the girl. They're all collectively known as the Kttens, as in patterns that are cats, because their mom's name is Loom. So Paisley is our first Kttern, and that's the only girl in the group. You can see she is distinctively sort of a gray tabby with the white markings, just like our Custard is, except of course she's got a little less white than he does, I think. Well, Shannon, you can call them anything you want. Loomies is good. I call them various other things too. DJ's official name is the Kttens, but we use a lot of names around here. So let's see, the second one is, this one is number 2 in birth order. This is our first boy. This is a little gray tabby. I know sometimes it can be hard to tell the colors on any of these cameras, but he's gray tabby, just gray. And his name is Basket Weave. And you can see he's got his eyes wide open as well, and a very full belly. Look at that belly. Oh yeah, you wanna do a little hula for us? Of course you do, okay. All right, Mom hears him talking, wants to come in and check on them again. This is Loom, their mom. She, of course, is also gray tabby, all gray. There we go. She's gonna have third breakfast, I think. Now we have the twins. Our twins are brown tabbies, and again, it can be a little hard to tell on this camera. Oh, but I think it's picking it up real nice right now. You can see they've got some brown in them compared to our gray tabby here. It doesn't have any brown. The camera's, I don't know, it makes it a little hard to see, but you can definitely see it in the faces for sure. He's got a lot of very nice color there. So here's what I've discovered today. It's been very difficult for us to tell the twins apart, but I have a way to do it. It may not always work for you on the stream, but it might. It's something to check at least. Obviously, we know that of the two right now, you can tell them apart because Herringbone doesn't have his eyes open all the way. Of course, they're both trying to sleep, so neither of them have their eyes open right now. And by tomorrow, I suspect Herringbone will have his eyes open all the way. Another way you can tell, of course, is that Chevy is bigger than Herringbone. So if you look for the bigger one, you know that one is Chevy, but that might not last either. They're getting close to each other in weight. But I was checking them out, and what I discovered is if you look at their tails, here we go. Do you see how this tail has a stripe that goes all the way down it? It's got little rings, but it's got one solid stripe that goes all the way down to the end of the tail right on top, right? That's Herringbone. Herringbone has the solid stripe that goes the length of the tail, as well as the little stripes that go off to the side like a tabby. But if you compare that to Chevy, there's your tail. Chevy's tail does not have that solid stripe all the way down. It's broken up into rings. Here, come here, Chevy. I know. Come around here for just a sec so we can really see. There we go. So you can see that there's no connecting line going down the length of the tail, just rings. Now, that might change over time. You can see, and especially if you look at it from the wrong angle there like that, you can almost see a line. But especially if you look towards the end of it, the last couple rings, you'll see very clear rings all the way around. But if we compare again to herringbone, then you will see that there aren't rings that go all the way around because they're broken by that line that goes all the way down. You see the difference, I hope? So that's a pretty clear way to tell the two of them apart at a glance if you can see their tails. Otherwise, it's pretty subtle. There are a bunch of subtle differences between them. I think if you were looking at them, in person every day, you would just know which one was which. But all the rest of the differences are pretty subtle. They're hard to point out and be like, yes, you can clearly tell this every time you look at them. But I think that the last couple of rings on the tail are a real good indicator of who is who. So that's handy to have. So Chevy, again, Chevy is the one with the rings, with the real clear rings. And herringbone is the one then that has the stripe that breaks up the rings. And if you're looking at it from the wrong angle, you're not going to see that, I guess, but it's better than nothing. So you got that to go on, which is nice. And then finally, of course, we have Argyle, and Argyle is our big yeller in the group. There's usually one, and Argyle is our one for this group. I'm not going to try to make him yell, but I do want you to take a look at how cute he is. They're all so cute now. They've gotten to that perfect stage where they're fat and just starting to look around and starting to try to learn to walk, and they're not doing very good at it yet because their little bodies are so heavy and they haven't developed their muscles yet. But they're working real hard on it, and that's it's all part of the practice is fighting at the milk bar, milk barguments, if you will, milk barguments, and then trying to crawl around and just doing as much as they can to work out. Maybe some banter size, who knows? All right, boy, let's see, basket weave over here, digging into the corner. So those are our kids, really fat and happy little kids, one girl, 4 boys, and their mom, who is now sitting over by the door. Steph, that's a good question about the construction noise. I think the majority of the noise is done today because most of the noise was them. So the construction is they're actually painting our house. It was really, really getting bad, and it was time. So the construction noise was mostly them sanding away a lot of the old paint and replacing a lot of the siding that was ruined. Also, this house has been in bad repair since we moved in, and we knew most of that, so we planned for it. But we're slowly working on fixing things up that need it. And so most of the noise was them sanding and, cutting wood for new siding and, installing it and all that kind of stuff. And I think they're through that phase of the project, if not entirely, then almost entirely now. And working on the priming and then painting which should be relatively quiet, I hope. Not a lot of noise in those things. But to answer your question, the kittens have been fine with it. It doesn't seem like anybody has been at all bothered by the noise, even when it's directly outside their window. So that's good. And it's also good to get kittens accustomed to that kind of noise right away, or to any kind of noise. So they've got some little extra training on that as far as it goes. Buddy, people are going to worry if you just sit over here by yourself. Not that he's not okay with that. They are almost 2 weeks old now. I think they're 2 weeks. Is it tomorrow? I don't. Somebody's going to have to tell me. But I think they're almost 2 weeks old, something like that. They must be getting close? Question mark. And at this age, and in the warmth of this box, they're fine sitting on their own. If that's what they do, it's not a big deal. But I know people are always like, oh, help him rejoin the pile. He doesn't know where he's going. Okay, so I was right. It's 2 weeks tomorrow. But they're okay. If they spend a little bit of time on their own, that's fine too. So last night, Port's Oranges all spent the night in the master bedroom with me, and DJ spent the night actually with Millet next door here in the second annex, because she can't leave him alone for a minute. So today she's at work and he's finally getting some practice being alone. I'm surprised he's not yelling at the sound of my voice right now. I guess the practice is working out for him. We'll go next door and take a look at him in just a minute. But I wanted to see if I could remember some things to tell you about the oranges having been in the bedroom, because they were so fun. Again, I woke up with Halifax directly in the middle of my pillow, and I was relegated to a tiny corner of the pillow. That seems like that's his thing. But the other thing that happened that was fun is Sydney had to get right up on my face, basically, and Sydney decided to groom me like a cat does, though. So he would lick on my stubble, on my beard just a little bit, and then after like a lick or two, then he would decide to bite it and pull on it like cats do, because you know how they do when they groom each other. They'll lick a couple times and they sort of grab and pull to get anything out. So he was doing that to me, and it was a little painful. He was basically trying to pull my whiskers out, and I know he was trying to be helpful, but oh man, what a shock. Anyway, let's instead of just talking about them, I think we've seen enough of this little pile of fur balls. Let's go see everybody. I'm just going to leave my feeding tools in here, the syringe and the tube and the food and stuff, and I'll come back and pick them up after the close-up. So let me just move those out of the way a little bit. There we go. And there's our mom loom. So cute. All right. Oh, I saw somebody say, Shannon, I hope the lady at the vet gets to adopt Millet if DJ wants. I hope so too, but I hope anybody that is the right adopter for Millet comes along, and that we can convince DJ that they are that right. But you did remind me, I should mention that tomorrow is Millet's checkup at the vet, and I'm very much looking forward to that, because I have no idea right now how it will go. If it will be good news, if it will be, he's been too active news. I really don't know what they're going to say. Let me pause here now he hears me and he's knocking on the door. We're going to get right to him. But first, I just wanted to mention that Loom here, not too happy about other cats being around. So I put up the privacy cover, I guess, for her window. But that doesn't seem to help. She still is mad when she knows cats are out here. So I think what we're going to do instead is try to acclimate her to the other cats. I'm going to take this stuff off and we'll just let her see them. If she's going to be mad anyway, better to let her have a chance to get used to it. So that's going to happen later on, just so you know. Now we go right next door to Millet, who is already at the door demanding to be seen. Will you come back in here with me, though, or are you going to run away? No, you will. Okay, you just want me. Good. Okay. Let's close the door. Hi, bud. Come over here and say hi to everybody, Millet. Hi, look how cute you are. So this is our little Millie, and he's going to have to spend most of the day in here, and a lot of it probably by himself. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once, and so not aiming the camera at Millet at all. Let's fix that. But as I said, for the last, DJ actually had yesterday and Monday off for reasons, and also the whole weekend. So for 4 days, he has not been away from a human being for even 1 second, because DJ really won't leave him alone for even 1 second. So this is going to be a good experience for him. He does need to learn that it's okay to be alone for a while, and he does know it too. If he thinks that he can yell at you and get you to come see him, though, he's going to do that. But if he's really left alone and you're not coming, he'll go settle down and take a nap, especially with his friend, the unicorn, that is still his favorite wrestling buddy. Hey, buddy, you want to wrestle? You want to wrestle some unicorn? No? You just want to see me right now? Okay, that's fine. He does still spend a lot of time wrestling that unicorn and anybody else that will wrestle with him. He and Custard really get into it. Sometimes he tries to wrestle Loganberry, but Loganberry mostly just diverts that into grooming. Anyway, so he's a good kitten, and he's doing really well. He's super happy. He's a little, like I said, he's too playful. He doesn't know his own limits or what his limits should be. And Power Slave, it's a good question about how much longer his treatment will last. We don't know, but I'm hoping that tomorrow, that's the kind of estimate that we might get from the vet after she sees how the new splint is doing. And when it comes to tomorrow, we're planning on going in early, and the vet is going to take a look at him and then have the option to say, all right, he needs to stay here all day, and we're going to do anesthesia and have a real look at it and fix it up and do x-rays, or she'll take a look at him and say he's doing fine. We just tighten things up and we're sending him home right now in the morning. So we'll see which way it goes. Personally, I hope that she just tightens things up and sends us right back and feels like it's doing great, because it's a lot of driving, but we'll see. Anyway, so there's our little boy. He's doing fine. He's having a good time with all of his toys and his unicorn and his mouse. And his fun tubes are still his favorite thing, I think, though. He brings those to DJ to play fetch with and all the stuff. I don't see any in here right now. I'll have to make sure that if he has hidden them, or if he just doesn't have any in here, I'll have to make sure he does, because he loves those things. All right, time to go see the oranges now. Let's do that. Oh, I know, Millet. I know. I got to leave you here, and I know you're going to yell at the door for a little while, but you settle down, okay, pal? You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. It's good. It's healthy for you to spend a little bit of time alone. This is a lesson we all had to learn when we were kids, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay. No. He's like, all right, I'm going out with you. Oh, buddy, you're a little too smart, too. Oh, yeah, you've almost figured out what the doorknob is for. A little too smart, Millie. Okay. No. Okay, we're going to have to put him back in then. That's one way to do it. Hi, pal. He's looking at me like, how about you just let me go to the bedroom? I might do that too, but I'm finishing up some work in the bedroom today. So that's the only reason that he's not in there and he's in his own room. No fingers in the door. No, not mine or yours, pal. Come on. We got to end this stalemate. You throw me the rope, I'll throw you the idol. Hey. Millet, we gotta go, pal. All right, okay, good. Whew. Got it. Okay. He probably would be happier in the bedroom, especially if Loganberry's gonna be there, as he usually is, to hang out. So we'll let him have the bedroom, like I said, later on. But first, I've got some work to get done in the bedroom this morning. There's some, basically, I'm patching things up where we had to move some things around, and I had to move some outlets, and I'm finishing that project. So I don't want him in there if I'm going to be sanding and painting. So these are all of our oranges. I'm going to open the door and let them all run out and go crazy like they do in the morning. But first, let's do a little roll call. See everybody. We haven't done that in a while. Oh, there's a fly in here. I bet they've been chasing that around. That is so much fun for these guys. So this is Halifax, the one that fights me for control of the pillow. He's got food on his face. They all tend to have a lot of food on their face. Halifax, you know, from the white collar. And he's also got the most white on him in general. The white collar's almost superfluous. I can't remember. I'm not going to be able to do them in order, I don't think. This is Rotterdam. He might be next in order, actually. Something like that. So Rotterdam, you know, from the extreme floof and the checkered collar. He's the one that not only follows me around all day, but he's got this bad habit of climbing my leg to get on the counter or just to say hello or because he wants a treat or whatever. He climbs right up me. And if I don't pay attention to him after he climbs my leg, he'll just keep going all the way up to my shoulder. He'll climb me all the way up like a mountain. He does it very often. And I don't mind it very much, but his adopters might. So I'm thinking we might start trimming his claws so that he realizes he can't just do that. Anyway. This is Puget, the other super floof in the group, and Puget would have a purple collar, but he seems to have lost it. Sometimes even when it's there, it's hard to see because he's so floofy, but no, it's not there. So that's Puget, the other floofer, and they are all chasing that fly. Oh, I can hear the fly. Wow. Like a sound effect. Okay. Anyway, hopefully they'll catch it. Then this is actually the black collar. I know you're seeing blue, and that's because I made the really smart choice of putting blue hardware on the black collar, and that makes things really confusing. But the collar itself is black, and that means this is Bombay with the black collar. He is by far the most independent of the group. If all six of them, if six of them are doing something and one kitten is missing, it's almost always Bombay that's missing. He's almost always off doing something else or taking a nap or, late to dinner or just whatever it is. If there's one kitten that's missing from the group, it seems like at least 75% of the time it's going to be Bombay that's the one that's missing. So that's sort of his personality. He does his own thing. But he's also a real sweet snuggler and a big purr when you pet him. They all are that. They've all got this big purr, big snuggler. Okay, and let's see, who haven't we seen yet? So they're still chasing that fly. Red collar is Rio. We all know Rio. I think he was the one that used to climb me the most when he was a kitten. He's mostly given that up and I guess left the climbing for herringbone. Herringbone? No, Rotterdam. Wow, I don't know how I did that. Anyway, red collar, Rio. And then we got Antwerp here with the pink collar. That's weird, though. I think they've switched collars. Somebody got their collars on backwards. I'm almost positive that pink and red are switched there. I'm going to have to check them out in more detail in a minute. I think you guys can probably tell, too, if you look at them, because look at these two together. That's when it's easiest to tell. Let's see. Well, so red, Rio, no? Yeah, actually, he does look like Rio up close. Man, these guys confuse me even. Yeah, now that I'm looking at them up close, I think we got them right. Because Antwerp is a little darker and always has been a little darker and also a little smaller and always has been a little smaller. So I think we got that right after all. Whew, that confuses me though. Anyway, Antwerp is pink, and like I said, he's a little smaller, and he's always had a little bit of a darker coloration than any of the others. It's probably subtle on the camera. It's subtle in person too. And then, of course, this is Mom, Port, and you guys all know Port is a sweetie who's just so playful and loves her Mylar balls and every other kind of toy, too. She's crazy sweet, crazy playful. She's just one of the best mom cats that you could have and gets along with everybody in the faculty and everywhere. Never seen her start a fight. I did see her end a fight with Custard. She's great that way, too, but she never starts them. And now that she's got her suit off, she's become super playful again. She doesn't play as much when she's got the suit on. But with it off, she is just awesome. And she hasn't had her sutures out yet. I think that she's eligible for us to take those out this weekend, and we will. But I've been keeping a real close eye on them. I check them all the time, and she doesn't mess with them, and the kittens don't mess with them either, and they're mostly healed up anyway. So she's fine to not have the suit on. And the kittens have been comfort nursing, and I haven't double checked this, but I do believe it's just comfort nursing. I don't think that she's making any milk anymore, so that's fine too. But she does still sort of let them nurse here and there. She has been teaching them a little bit, though, not to do it. I know this morning she told a couple of them to back off, and that's okay. If she's just telling them to back off from nursing, or to back off in general, that's exactly the kind of lesson that she's allowed to teach. It's different than what she was doing before that made us separate her for a little while, where she was sort of seeking them out to smack them, and that's because she wasn't feeling good. But now she's feeling pretty good, I think, and just doing the appropriate level of mom training, not the extra, if you know what I mean. All right, let's trip over everything. Let's open the door and let all these kids run out and start their play dates today. Of course, now the fly is going to go someplace else, and who knows where they're going to have to chase it. That's okay, though. All right, and at the same time, we should probably wrap this up. So I'm going to turn the camera to point into this room or down the hall into the room with the running wheel in it, perhaps. We do it either way, depending on where I think they're going to be. It can be a little hard to keep up with all these kids and keep them on the camera, but I do my best to keep them on the camera for all of you. And to balance that, of course, with their need to get out and run around and be kittens. So we'll try to keep them on the camera. If you want to see that, of course, the camera I'm referring to is on the regular Kitten Academy live stream right here on YouTube. So look for the Kitten Academy live stream. You can watch these guys and the ones upstairs all day long. At least as much, like I said, as I can keep them on camera. Oh, there she is playing with one of her bird toys. Hey, you like that bird toy too, don't you, Port? There's also a squeaky dinosaur that when I came down this morning, she was all curled up with, the squeaky dinosaur toy that she likes. Makes the same noise as the bird. I don't know why it is a dinosaur that sounds like a bird, but I guess what I've learned is that that's actually pretty historically accurate, right? Don't they think that like all dinosaurs basically had feathers now? I think that's the latest I've heard, although I don't pay much attention. I just read the headlines and, whatever they say is obviously true. Because he wouldn't lie in a headline. So that's her little dinosaur, by the way. It's this thing. It does squeak. There we go. All right, everybody. Well, one more time, thank you so much for joining us for the close-up this morning. And I hope you do decide to join us on the regular Kitten Academy live stream. But if not, we'll see you for another close-up soon enough. Like I mentioned, the only real news tomorrow is the checkup for Millet. And so that means that there probably won't be a close-up in the morning. And a lot of times when I miss it in the morning, that means I'm going to miss it completely, but we'll see. I'll do my best to give you some kind of an update tomorrow. Especially, like I said, now that things are working so well, it can be a little easier. So we'll see what we can do. All right. Oh, did I miss Sydney in the roll call when we were? I think I did, didn't I? Sydney's the blue collar, and I don't see him now. He's around somewhere, though. Let's just take a quick look. I just want to see. Can I find him? Is this him right here? I can't see. Show me your collar, buddy. Yes, that's Sydney. All blue. See? All blue. Okay, that's him. That's our boy. Now you've seen everybody. Okay, thanks again. Say goodbye to everybody, Sid. Say goodbye to everybody. Okay. You want to pull my beard out some more? Did you hear that? Halifax growling about his toy? Oh, very angry.